Welcome along to another video. I am that cycling chimp, and in this one it's absolutely Baltic in Scotland. We've had a really heavy frost overnight and it's currently sitting about -2. I've decided to come out today and challenge myself to another solo metric half century, 50 kilometres. My route's going to take me from one seaside town north to another seaside town. So I'm travelling between Ayr and Largs. Now according to Chimp, it's 56 kilometres all in, but it's just a little bit more. We are going into uncharted territory because I've not cycled that way before. I also have a confession to make, but if you want to see if I make it to Largs, or you want to hear what my confession is, you're just going to have to stick around to the end of the video to find out. That's us now into the last week of November 2023. The 30th of November in Scotland is also known as St Andrew's Day, and that is the last day before meteorological winter in Scotland. That will be us all the way to February 28th, 2024. Now St Andrew is the patron saint of Scotland. Apparently he's also the patron saint of many other countries all over the world, Romania being one of them, and also Barbados. You can get any place that's totally different with temperature and weather. As I said, it's currently -2 degrees, and what I've got to watch today is I've got to watch for black ice. I've waited and I've come out a little bit later so that it's thawed a little bit, but I've still got to watch. And I know there's one part of the route that's going to be pretty precarious, and the reason for that being is there's a lot of water that comes off the railway line from an opposite side field and the road just freezes, so I don't know if it's going to be passable or not. If you watched my last video, I was in the pain cave and I was doing interval training, and I definitely think interval training does work. I was out yesterday, I'd done a 30 kilometre ride and I was doing some interval training in between. So today this is going to be a zone 2 recovery ride. So I'm not trying to win any medals, I'm not trying to win any races. I just want to see if I can do 50 kilometres and then we'll see how we feel when we get to Largs. Now it's paths like these when you're riding on that haven't been gritted. These are the ones you got to look out for, because if you go down, you go down quick. It's not very clever when that happens. That's me got to 20 kilometres and I'm just in Irvine just now. I'm going to stop, have something to eat quickly, and I'm going to start moving on again. The idea behind today's adventure is we're starting from Ayr and we're working our way up the Ayrshire Coastal Path using the NCN7. I've jumped onto the NCN73 just now, but it's just about to come back onto the NCN7 towards Kilwinning. I'm not going to go to Kilwinning, I'm going to go across to Ardrossan, then further up the coast towards Largs. And here's my cycling tip of the day. Always make sure you put your flapjacks or anything into your back jersey pockets. It was in my roll bag in the front and you could break your teeth on it. That's how cold it is. Literally 2 seconds after I started cycling again, I forgot I had to cross Irvine Moor. And behind me, that's a statue of the great Scottish poet Robert Burns. Now Robert Burns had a lot of ties in Irvine. He was originally born in Ayr, and I probably will do a video on that at some point in the future. I do absolutely love days like this when you're out on the bike. It's just a crisp autumn's day, even though cold, but if you wrap up, it's absolutely brilliant just to get out. Now this is me coming up to the precarious part of the cycle ride, and yep, that's actually not too bad. Nope, 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 nope. And that's why you've got to wash with black ice. Whoa. We nearly had a spill. I nearly stacked it. This was the part of the ride I was talking about. It was a little bit precarious. I'm getting off to walk because I ain't falling out here. That's the train behind me. I would say the ice is probably about an inch thick there. And I don't fancy falling off. That's me done 30 kilometres now, and I thought I would stop for a wee coffee. Stopped in at Stevenson. It's a place called Down the Beach Community Cafe. I've managed to get a wee coffee in a tray bake, and it was less than a £5, which is quite good. Just the right amount of almond and marzipan. You get this little guy want a bit. You're not getting a bit. Beat it. Well, that's me had my coffee, and now it's time to get onward bound towards Largs. If you're ever down in Stevenson, come down and check out Down the Beach because they actually do a really good coffee. Now, to give you an idea of how cold it is, it's 1:30 in the afternoon. The sun has just went behind some clouds and it's dipped down to -3. I'm really glad that I layered up today. Now, I've been doing quite well today, trying to keep into zone 2, but I'm coming up to a bit of a dilemma. There is two ways I can go to Largs. Now, I can either take the flat route, which there is a hill, but it's not too bad, or I can take the hilly route and go through West Kilbride. I don't know which way I'm going to go. I can see it from here and it does look challenging, and I like a challenge. I may have to go off and walk, but I think I'm going to try it. I don't even know what kind of gradient it is, but it looks vertical. So let's try it. That was some hill, man. Definitely a zone 5 all the way up. Don't get me wrong, you get spectacular views. And that is where your interval training does come in handy, because I was able to keep my heart at a level, exert a wee bit, then just back off. And if you know what your heart rate zones are, it helps. I've now hit 40 kilometres. I'm going to go through West Kilbride. I will have a descent, and then we'll go through Fairley and then finally on to Largs. So I reckon we've got about 15 kilometres left to do. I've just given myself a little break, a little drink, let my heart rate come down a little bit. I didn't bonk, that's the main thing. So we're still riding in the Ayrshire Coastal Path, 2 miles outside of Fairley and apparently 5 miles outside of Largs. But the good thing I like about this route is it's 90% off-road. And I don't mean off-road as in like mountain bike trails. There is a little bit of gravel, mostly it's cycle paths. And that's what I like about the infrastructure around about this area, because it's accessible to everybody, not just cyclists. Get in! Another solo half metric century, 50 kilometres in the bag. And we've still got roughly about 3 miles to go to Largs. So I reckon it's going to be about maybe 55, 56 kilometres all in. Looking behind me, it's the Isle of Arran. It's actually from a slightly different angle than you usually see from the Ayrshire coast. The sun's starting to set, so we're going to get a really nice sunset. This is one of the reasons I love cycling the Ayrshire coast. I'm literally now 1 kilometre away from Largs. It's been some effort today. It has been cold, but I can't believe that I've made it all the way here. And I feel as if I've still got a little bit in the tank left to go, but I'm going to get to Largs and then I'm going to use ScotRail, which is Scotland's train service. And I'm going to get the train back to Kilwinning, interchange there, back to Prestwick and then cycle home. Now, no trip to Largs would be complete without stopping and having a look at the Pencil of Largs. Now, behind me is a monument known as the Pencil of Largs, and it commemorates the Battle of Largs in the year of 1263 when the Vikings tried to invade Scotland. And the story goes, or so they say, was that when the Vikings tried to come on the shore, there was lots of thistles all over this beach, and when they come on shore they were getting pricked by all the thistles, and it alerted all the Scottish warriors that were round about, and that's what stopped the Vikings from successfully taking over Scotland. So they say, it's only a story. That's me finally made it to Largs. Now, it looks as if the Loch Shira is just about to make berth, which is possibly going to be the last ferry in daylight hours. Don't actually know what time that the ferry stops going over to Millport, or the Greater Isle of Cymru I should say. But I'll need to get my skates on too, because I've got a train to catch. The only issue I have had is I've missed the train home by 5 minutes, so I've got another half hour to wait for the next one. But the good thing is, I nipped into Nardini's, not for an ice cream, but another coffee. That'll keep me warm until the train comes. And I can also go and enjoy an Ayrshire Coast sunset. So here's the Loch Shira coming in just now, back from the Greater Isle of Cymru. Well, that's us got to the end of another video. Just like to thank you all for sticking around today. It has been a cold one, but it's been a really enjoyable one today. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, give it a big thumbs up. If you really liked it, hit that subscribe button, because your subscribing keeps me riding. I just want to say hello to all my new subscribers as well. Thanks for clicking that subscribe button, because it really does help the channel out in ways you can't even imagine. And I'm so grateful that you are starting to watch the videos. Last week's video absolutely blew up with the amount of viewers, and the comments I've been getting have been really encouraging. But there is a lot more to come. If you remember correctly, I said at the beginning of the video, I also had a confession to make. And it's not exactly one that I'm proud of this. After the last video, I tried to clip out of the bike, but I get caught up and I actually get stuck and fell off. The only thing is I didn't record it because I'm pretty sure you guys would have been laughing. I was laughing myself, but I never thought I would struggle clipping out of a stationary bike. But there you go. Hope to see you in the next one. Bye for now.